It's the Archivist, y'all, exclusively interviewing Bronze Nazareth.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace, peace, peace.
Peace.
And who is one of the most heralded, the seven of the wise men, Bronze Nazareth?
Who is Bronze, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm basically, you know what I'm saying, I'm a neighborhood guy, you know what I mean? Straight out of Michigan, you know what I'm saying, Detroit, via gun rule. Like I say, neighborhood guy, man, regular dude, you know what I'm saying? Got into music early on and basically worked my way up the ladder, you know, musically, style-wise and all that shit. And end up getting signed by RZA, Wu-Tang, and you know, from there I whirlwinded into the music industry. You feel me?
And how did it all begin? What inspired you, got you started before connecting with the group and Civil Rings back in '98?
I mean, basically, I just started out making beats like in '94, just on some hip hop shit. I always was into like soul music and shit because my pops was into Teddy Pendergrass, Aretha Franklin, you know, all that good shit. So I just always kind of felt music, you know, inside emotionally and shit like that. So when I started to make beats, I had a lot of, you know, life type of shit that'll make you get some emotion, shit that'll make you ugly your face up and shit like that. So it's just been grinding from there, man. I started fucking with the ASR 10 like way back in the day with my homeboy D the Rebel. Shout out to D. And just from there, you know, I still grind with the same machine, you know, still fuck with the cool edits, still fuck with the Pro Tools, you know, heavy. So that's me right there, beat maker, you know what I mean? Real dude.
The Unknown, Death Birth, The Grip of Bohemia. We'd love to know.
I mean, that was just like basically an album with me and my brother Kevlar, who used to be called 50/50. This was our group back then, The Unknown, you know, this was back when I was early on making hip hop beats and rhyming with a crazy flow and all that shit. So that was basically my first foray into like real studio music and shit like that. And that's the project that caught the ear of Silver Rings, who eventually sent me to RZA. So.
And Wise Men approaching with features from Jizza, Killa Priest, Prodigal Son, and so many more. Elaborate on the record.
I mean, Wise Men Approaching is underground classic, man, and that's not just from me. I'm the type of guy, I let the fans say what it is, man, and a lot of the fans, you know, came through saying it was a classic. So it was really just some real East Coast kind of Wu-Tang inspired, but straight out of angle from Detroit. So that's what that shit was, man. So when you pop that in shit, that shit came out in like '07. You know, it's just like neighborhood warfare, real shit, street shit, battling, all the shit that really encompasses Detroit, you know, but just like on the sound bed, or just hot shit, you know, crazy drums, beautiful melodies. That's what I do, you know.
And The Great Migration, selling more than 16K of copies. How did it go for you?
I mean, that shit was great, man, because it kind of came off the strength of the Wu Indie album. That was really my first big joint that went out there. That went on to sell a whole lot. And so, you know, I think the label kind of they didn't really want to fuck with me at first, but I think my man Dreddy kind of was like, if you want to fuck with this indie album, you got to fuck with Bronze. So I ended up putting the album out. I put a lot of, you know, blood, sweat, and tears. Wrote it in a little basement in Detroit in the grimy gutter. You know what I'm saying? We, you know, did the whole thing, recorded, wrote, and all that shit. Ward Street, Joy Road, and shit. And you know, it dropped, and the shit was just on fire. Like I had the label calling me like, yo, this shit just don't happen. Like, you don't just drop an album out of nowhere with no real press or no shit like that and sell like this independently. So, I mean, it was a surprise to me, but I always really, you know, I believed in the shit I was doing. So it was like, yo, vindication, you know.
And mixtapes, Thought for Food, Volume 1 and 2. What was the fans saying? Tell us more.
I mean, Thought for Food. One was basically a joint I dropped before Migration. Just like I had finished Migration, and I was like, I'm a fiend. I'm a studio rat, so I'm gonna be in that bitch creating. So I just was like, yo, let me continue, and I finished that shit before they got everything together to put Migration out. So we hit that out there. It's just some real hip hop, man. The fans really appreciate it. Like on the mixtapes, I just put the pen on the pad. On the album, I go in, cut lines, rewrite this, that, and the other. So. They was fucking with the mixtapes heavy, man. And, you know, we about to do Volume 3 this summer, so that shit bangs, man. Bangs.
And from Volume 2?
Volume 2, same thing, man. Volume 2 was a little more I kind of reached out to other producers and other MCs, and I used a couple industry type beats and shit like that. You know what I mean? Heaters that I always fucking loved and shit like that. So Volume 2 was another heater, man. And then just format wise, Volume 3 gonna be a little different, man. It's all original production. I still got other producers on there, but it's no more like industry type beats and shit like that. It's all raw, real shit. So original, fresh.
And Children of a Lesser God with collabs from Raekwon the Chef, Planet Asia. The Wise Men saga continues.
Yeah, it definitely continues, man. I think that's one of, definitely in my camp, that's one of the most slept on projects, man. The Children of a Lesser God. But I think it's a gem, man. There's some real fire on there, man. You got Hurt Lockers, you know what I mean? Just real fire and thoughtful, poetic shit on there that I think might have just went past people a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But it's definitely a gem.
And your next solo, School for the Blind Men, the lineup is insane. How has it gone?
Oh, the School for the Blind Men was great, man. I think when we dropped, it was like 64 out of the top 200 hip hop and R&B on Billboard. So, I tried it on Billboard finally. That's a success right there. So, it's been selling well, been very well received, and got me into a whole nother deal, another situation. So the idea is to your last shit keep you going to the next shit, and that's what this did exactly.
And production. What drives and inspires you? Some of your very best. The music speaks to the masses.
Because the music speaks to me, man. You know what I mean? I'm part of the masses out here. I'm part of the people, man. Like I say, I'm a neighborhood regular nigga. I don't claim to be no gangster like that, but I do things that city niggas do. You know what I mean? I'm a real nigga like that. But to be genuine, to be real, is different nowadays, and that's just my angle. I'm just gonna be me, man. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. This, that, and the other. So that's the space I'm in, man. Bronze, man, out here. We're coming with the new fresh shit. So,
And putting it down for RZA, A Day to God is 1,000 years, Birth of a Prince, Immortal Technique, The Big Payback, Jizza Pro Tools, Raekwon Shaolin versus Wu-Tang with Butter Knives, Vord Omega with Trigonomics, Vinnie Paz, Ninth Prince, Wu-Tang versus Indie Culture, albums for Hellraiser, Heaven Raiser, 60 Second Assassin, Project Manu. You put in a hell of a...
Yeah, you know what I call that? Call that shoveling coal, man. Because I got, my natural theory is if you shovel fucking coal, the train gotta move, right? By nature, right? So I call that shoveling coal. That's what I do. My grind, I shovel coal, man. So this motherfucking train gonna move, man, naturally.
And singles, Poem, Burial Ground, Fresh from the Morgue, many videos, Warship, Cold Summer, Blenders. Tell us more about your work.
Shit, my work is fire, man. I mean, I feel like, if they ain't gonna say it, what the people do say it, but I'm gonna say it for myself, man. The shit I do, I know it's top notch. I know it's, top of this generation of hip hop, man, because I learned from OGs like MOP themselves, you know what I'm saying? I listen and I learn. I study hip hop. So as far as my craft, I'm on top of it, man. I can make a fucking beat out of anything. I'm to the point where you can give me some spoons, some fucking knives, and some glass. I'll make a banger out of that shit. I feel like that. So, and then lyrically, I go in. Music is about words. If this is an art, you can't just be saying some shit anybody can say. Yeah, I got you, my bro. Fame in the building, y'all.
And you got anything you're reading?
Yeah,
knowledge.
I stay reading, man. I just finished Anthony Kiedis, the Red Hot Chili Peppers biography. Fucking crazy. So I stay on shit like that. But the most shit I read, most of the shit I read is like some crime shit. I just finished a joint called Land of Opportunity about the Chamber Brothers in Detroit. They had this crazy crack empire that I think New Jack City was based on that shit. They had this building and shit, the apartment, where they had like every floor was like, you had the hookers on the 5th floor, you had the weed on the 4th, crack on the next, heroin on the 2nd. And so I like to read a lot of crime, novels and shit, real shit though. Not like, I don't really like the fiction and shit, the shit that ain't real. I like to read shit that really happened, history. So, I'm definitely into reading.
And what's next? Albums, more production?
Thoughtful Food 3. I got that baking right now. Actually, when I go home, I'm gonna turn that shit in. My video blenders just dropped last Friday, so that shit is out here. It's getting good reviews and shit. It's on Hip Hop DX right now. And so Thoughtful Food 3 is next this summer. Got that heat, you know, that straight Detroit Motown soul shit, that hard shit, you know, woo shit, Wiseman shit. It don't stop, man.
Any other projects you have coming out?
Yeah. I just finished a joint with my man Willie the Kid. So that's called The Living Daylights. So we gonna drop that shit too. Fire. Also working on the joint with my homie Bodie James. We fuck with the cool kids and them out of Bodie in Detroit. You know what I mean? So we working on that shit too. And of course, you know all the Wiseman shit, about to finish up Salute the Kid album. Free Salute the Kid, man. Let my nigga go, man. So that's what I got on the burner right now, man. You know what I mean?
And your best tour and largest crowd you've ever rocked. And how is Colombia?
The best tour probably this shit right now, man. It's been amazing, man. To be able to, you know, reach fans and like I say, rub elbows with the greats. It's been fucking crazy, man. Colombia, same shit. I'll never forget that shit. That shit was crazy. We did a Woo Fest out there. It was Killer Army, Killer Priest, Sons of Man, and me and my Wiseman, June Mega and Kevlar. And like I say, man, that shit was crazy, man. Colombia, yeah. Culo. Yeah.
And your best Woo hip hop memory you've been part of or contributed to?
My best hip hop memory that I've been part of contributed to was probably when we rocked the Royal Oak Theater back home, Detroit, Michigan, with the Clan. And middle of the show, after we went on, Method Man runs out on stage and he yells, "Wiseman," to the crowd. So Meth got the whole crowd screaming Wiseman in that bitch. So, you know, that was a proud moment for me. I didn't even believe this shit happened at first. Until the motherfucker tapped me like, "Yo, did you hear that?" I was like, "Damn, he did say that, huh?" So, so that was some ill shit. Plus, we rocked that motherfucker. Go online and see the footage, man. Royal Oak, Wiseman, Bronze Nazareth, man.
And you got anything to say to Canada?
Yeah, I fucks with y'all, Canada. Y'all got some very beautiful herbals out here smoking the BC bud, man. And beautiful women, you know what I'm saying? Beautiful cities. I fucks with y'all hard. It's more relaxed in the U.S. out here, too. So watch out, U.S. Get a fucking house in Toronto or something, man. Or maybe Vancouver. You feel me?
And you got any shouts?
Yeah, shout out to my motherfucking Wiseman, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Motown. Shout out to MOP, Gun Rule. Shout out to my motherfucking self, man.
And shout out to Merc Versus.
Yeah, Merc Versus. Oh, what you know about Merc, man?
And Bronze Nazareth.
Yeah, shout out, man. My nigga Merc, he doing this thing down in Indiana, man. Shout out to the Archivist too, man. You know what I mean? Get it in with him, man.
And Killer Priest. And this is the Archivist. And you already know the name, y'all.
Let's do it. Bronze fucking Nazareth, man.